What all did you get into this week? We haven't even talked.
Yeah, I know. This week really it's been, I don't know, been just kind of tired this week, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't feel like I've done too much, but yesterday I had a lot going on. I had to vote yesterday, and
Yeah.
um, then I went to it's like a pastor's round table,
Oh,
um,
cool.
with Alex's dad and Alex and Traven. Tra- yeah, Traven. I'm pretty sure his name is, if I remember correctly.
Neat.
So that was a good time. We had some good discussion and went out to lunch afterwards, and that was a good time. Then came back here and did a little bit of work and went home and watched the election last night, and
Yeah.
quite crazy. So
It is. Yeah.
how about you? How'd your week
Um,
go?
I was out of the office all day yesterday, just with election day, everything. We voted, and um, but yeah, it's been kind of a crazy week. Couple meetings. I've been trying to catch up with school. This is kind of a tougher week. I think.
Yeah.
Um, but I right before we got on here, got a little bit of it done, but there's
Yeah.
still some work to be done. But
Yeah.
got some
There's
time
still a
for
lot.
tonight. So yeah,
Still a good amount of work to be done.
yeah.
Um, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
What'd you
But
what'd you think of this past week's games?
um, I didn't get to watch too much. I was preaching Sunday night. I forgot about
Yeah,
that. I preached Sunday night. That's right.
yeah.
That was really good. Youth service went good.
Is there a recording to that? I was trying to find it, but I couldn't.
So I guess it might be up now. I guess there was like a period of time where the video didn't wasn't up,
Yeah.
but I have the audio
Okay.
if you want to
Well, if
just
I
listen.
can't find it, I want to check it out. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So talked about getting uncomfortable. So
that's a fun
pretty
one.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good. But Sunday I kind of just prepared for that. Kind of went over it a couple times in the
Yeah.
afternoon. Didn't really watch too much football.
Yeah.
Apparently it was kind of crazy. And I just kind of missed it. But the Steelers
Yeah.
weren't playing, so I kind of
Yeah.
tuned out this week. But
Figured you wouldn't be as invested
yeah,
as
I
normal.
still won in
Yeah.
fantasy. This
Yep.
week's a big matchup.
Is that
Um,
me and you today?
it's
Is
me
that
and
me and
you.
you this week?
It's me and you this week.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Obviously hoping for the dub, but
We'll see.
your team's quite nasty. I can't lie. I think we have the best two teams in the league. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion,
I
but
agree. Yeah.
we'll see.
I
But
agree.
how about you? Sunday? How Sunday church and
Good. Yeah.
football?
Yeah. We Sunday night I took the youth bowling because I didn't
I
get
saw
an
that.
event this last month, so we're going to do a couple this month. But it was fun. Yeah, we had a good group. A little bit more than I planned for, which is always a good surprise. But just
Yep.
had to figure some things out, and it was fine. Just
Yeah.
a couple extra drivers. But it was good. Yeah, we had a good time, and it was nice for just a change of pace. I don't know about you, but and this is with anything, not just ministry, but when you kind of get going, at a in a rhythm and it's just kind of the same thing every week, it can kind of boring's not the right word, but you can kind of go through the motions and not really
Yeah.
kind of enjoy it. And I don't know, I've found that it's nice to have those events to kind of break things up. And I think the
Yeah.
kids enjoy it just because I don't know, and maybe this is something we can kind of talk about here, but I noticed that especially when certain series are longer, like there was like I preached on Psalm 119 for like 4 months, and they were ready to be done,
Yeah.
by the second month because it's just they're coming there and it's real repetitive and it's starting to be the same thing. And I probably should have sped it up, just recognizing that because I saw it happening. I saw them losing interest. But I think that's with anything, it's so difficult to keep our attention. Um, and we want to just get things done quick. We want to have things over with. And I think
Yeah.
I think ministry can kind of um, suffer because of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that anytime?
Yeah. I think we also, well, especially with Sunday morning, we've been going through. Well, my goal was I got this book, and it just had the Bible and the journal passage on the other side, the journal writing.
Yeah.
And my goal was to go through all the books that I had in there, but on the actual Sunday morning service, we're going through First and Second Timothy, which is part of that book. So I'm gonna,
Yeah.
and because I've been in First and Second Thessalonians since I've gotten here,
Oh man. Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
and it's not that I've been really, I guess, dragging it out. It's more of there's just so much always going on, and then we have breakfasts here and there,
Sure.
kind of breaking it up. But by the end of this year, we are going to be out of Second Thessalonians. So
Well, good. Good.
yeah, so
There we go.
I'm gonna have to figure out something new, I guess. The thing
Yeah.
with Siri, it's so easy, not necessarily easy to prepare, but it's easier going into the week knowing this is what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Not that
Sure.
we don't have to study it, but like it's still, you don't have to think about a series or what topic am I going to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, with events, with our harvest party sort of thing, that was a nice kind of refresher, kind of just like a lot of the same thing, doing the same thing, and then you have an event and you kind of just get to be there and just hang out instead of kind of like a rigid kind of youth
Yeah.
night. Not that they're rigid, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, let's transition to this. I've got our topic for today.
well,
How?
first of all,
Go
this is
ahead.
episode 43.
Oh my goodness,
Welcome
we
in.
didn't even do an intro. Yeah.
Welcome to. I'll do this before we start talking a little bit about it. So keep your thought. But welcome, episode 43, which was supposed to be last week.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
And I pressed the end
Actually, it's
call
your
button,
fault. I fixed
and
it.
it didn't stop recording. And so we appreciate you looking at our video. A lot of views on TikTok. So we got the gospel out
It
there.
was good. Yeah.
So it's we're appreciative of that, and so but yeah. Anyways, just wanted to welcome you in, and go check out
Pastor's
our
Coffee.
social media.
Yep. That's
Pastor's
right.
Coffee here. So
Yeah.
anyway, keep going. What were you saying?
Well, how do you keep ministry fresh? But then, just for the average listener, how do you keep your faith new and fresh every day? So think on that for a second. I know that's a tough question. I'll go ahead to give you
Go ahead.
a chance to think about it, unless you have something right off the bat. But I think it's more so leaning on to what God is doing new every single day. Obviously, in Lamentations, the quoted verse, His mercies are new every morning. 3:24. But I think it's more so leaning on Him and recognizing all the new things that He's doing in our lives to keep things fresh with us. I think a lot of times, at least for me, we're doing the same thing each and every day, and it can kind of seem, I don't know if this is the right word, but it kind of seem pointless sometimes. It's like, man, what am I really doing? Am I really making an impact in certain areas? But if we're called to be faithful to the one who can make a change, then He's the one doing those new things, and we're just kind of along for the ride. And recognizing all the things that He's doing keeps things fresh in our lives. And I think how we do that is obviously prayer and scripture reading, but also just talking to other people and recognizing what He's doing in their lives. You've heard the saying, don't live through other people, or when parents try to live through their kids, and it's always looked at as a negative thing. But sometimes in our faith, it's nice to hear testimonies from other people, because it encourages us that maybe we can't see a lot of work in our lives, even though He is working, but we can really see Him working in other people's lives, and that's encouraging. So I think keeping things fresh starts with opening our eyes to things happening around us, and not so self-centered on just what's happening with us, because sometimes it can get a little intimidating when you're seeing all these different people having all these great things and God using them, and you're looking at your life and saying, man, what am I doing? I need to really step my game up. But in reality, we should just be thankful that God's at work, period. God is working in other people's lives. And I've tried to be a little bit better at that. I think pride has a lot to do with that because we want to be the center of attention and we want all the things to happen to us when in reality we're just supposed to be a vessel to give him glory. And if he's doing that in other places, let's praise him for that too. So what would you say? I think this is kind of a segue into keeping relationships fresh too, and people may be interested to hear from that. But how do you keep your faith fresh?
Yeah, I think really getting on here and talking to you every week is something that
Yeah,
helps out, and
yeah,
just
for sure.
not that talking to other believers doesn't help, but like the difference between me talking to Albina and me talking to you is two different things.
Oh, for
And
sure,
they're
for
both
sure. Yeah,
great. They're both great. And Albina is my wife who sees me every day. She knows me in and out. But me and you are in a pretty much the same situation.
yeah,
We're both youth pastors, and we're both going through what our weeks would look like with that. We're both doing the same master's class. I mean, our lives look
yeah.
a lot alike.
Right.
So and so I think just talking to other pastors helps me a lot, especially not that believers who aren't pastors doesn't, but other pastors understand a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and I think, but also what I've recently not figured out, but been kind of seeing in my life that I sometimes can go through devotions, as you were kind of
Mm,
saying, and kind of feel pointless because everything
yeah,
I study in the Bible usually gets produced out into a message. And so when I'm just kind of reading it and saying, oh, this is just for me, it almost sometimes seems pointless. And I know it's not, and that's
yeah.
a terrible attitude for it.
No, I get it though. Yeah,
But I think it's so crucial for that. And I've been really, especially the past probably 2 weeks, really been intentional about that time. And I know
yeah,
we always talk about how pastors need their daily devotion time. And
yeah,
I never really took it as it's so crucial that really I've seen that if I don't get that daily time with me and God, not producing a message, and not that I can't produce a message out of my devotion, but the time between me and God solely for my spiritual walk with Him, if that doesn't happen, or if that doesn't happen with the right attitude, then my messages can suffer for it. My
yeah,
ministry can suffer for it.
yeah,
And that's something that I really need to keep in check because, God has called me to this ministry and it's a very important ministry. Um, and if I'm not doing my daily devotions and pouring that out to the youth, then who are they going to follow if I'm not doing that?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and so that's just kind of how I've been keeping that fresh is just, again, waking up and realizing that this day is for God
yeah,
and it's not for me. Um, and I'm terrible about rolling over and getting my phone as the first thing I see in the
sure,
morning.
sure.
And I just look on social media, and I really should be better at that. But I think even though that may still be part of my daily routine type of thing, is that waking up and realizing that God is perfect and this life is for Him.
Yeah.
Um, but anything else you got to say about that?
Well, I just thought of something while you were talking. I think there's I think there's two types of routines. It's intentional routines and unintentional routines. Unintentional, we are going to sleep every single day. Like it's just going to happen. And
Yeah,
if we go a while without it, our body is going to make ourselves
yeah,
shut down. But there's a lot of things that we do that we intentionally, you know, have a part of every single day. You know, eating, if we don't do it, obviously we will die.
yeah,
But I think we're intentional because of how we feel without it and how we feel with it to be intentional to have it. But I think with reading, um, unintentional routine would be to just pick it up and read it and not let it affect you. But intentional routine of reading scripture saying, I need this to survive spiritually. So I'm going to
hmm
go at it in an attitude of taking something away with me. And I think that can be with everything, especially with our wives. Unintentional routine is to be around and try and be helpful to them. Intentional says, I want our marriage to flourish as much as possible. So I'm going to
Yeah,
be intentional in my love towards you and put these things aside. And man, that is something that I really need to work on because I think just we take so many things for granted.
oh for sure.
I take this ministry, I take my wife for granted at times, and but I think that's with a routine. There can be two different ways to look at it. There's unintentional routines and intentional routines, and if we want to keep our faith fresh, it has to be a routine. There's nothing wrong with it being a routine, but it has to be an intentional one that we're going to it to get something out of it each and every time. So I don't know. As you were talking, I was kind of thinking of that
Yeah,
because we always look at going through the motions as a bad thing, and that is when we think about it that way. But if our motion is a one of intentional trying to get something out of it, that's exactly what we're called to do. I think of Daniel, and I'll probably make a TikTok of this later. Um, but I think of
go check
Daniel.
out his TikTok, man.
Daniel, I mean, it talks about him going to prayer 3 times a day.
Hmm.
Now that's a checklist thing for him. That's a routine that I'm going to do this every single day, and it can become going through the motions thing, but for him it was an intentional routine that I need this to be right spiritually. For every meal that I'm supposed to have in a day, I'm going to spend time in prayer that much. Um, and he looks out this window to a city that was prophesied that the Messiah was going to come from, and that's what I think is so special. We can warn of the dangers of going through the motions all the time, but we've got to go through a motion. We've got
Yeah.
to go through a motion spiritually,
Hmm.
and if that's whatever place that we're starting at, it's good. Um,
Yeah.
we just have to be intentional in the growth. So I don't know. That was just something I thought about.
Yeah,
But
I didn't think about that before you. Well, I mean, I've thought of that before, but
yeah,
just with all of that, just being very intentional. And I don't know about you, but I, especially with our wives, without being I can sometimes, like when I get home, and I don't know if this is for you as well, but sometimes you see them doing something like the dishes or like sweeping the floor,
you better get to
and you
it.
just you just feel bad almost. So like you feel like, man, I probably should do something at this point.
Yeah,
And like I feel guilty almost. Like,
sure.
I mean, it without being a stay-at-home mom, that is kind of part of her duty, but at the same time, as a husband, I'm trying to be intentional as
Sure.
saying, this is our house, and this, we are to manage it, and especially for me as a husband to manage it. um and I think just helping her out in those things um can especially do that. But man, sometimes you can just feel real guilty, and you just better go pick something up
I
and
get that, man.
do
I
something.
get that.
So,
Yep. Same here. Same here.
but
Yeah.
anything else you want to say about that?
I don't know. That was good. Leave us a comment if you see this. How do you keep your faith fresh? How do you keep your faith fresh? That's
There you
all I got.
go. Okay. Um, Transitioning over here into the old NFL. Week 9, we did do our predictions. Week 9 was a bad week for me.
For both of
Um,
us or just you?
for me,
Oh, okay.
you went 11-4.
Not,
Okay, improving your record to 89-49,
not bad.
and I went 7-8.
Whew, made some ground. There we go.
I got real. I don't even know what's the word for it, but I got real comfortable, I guess, with taking some underdogs like the Broncos, who absolutely got
That was
destroyed.
crazy. I told you that was crazy.
So,
That's
my
good.
record is now 83-55. So we're 6 games in
Yeah.
between, six
I
games
like your
back.
cushion though. Feels good. Yeah.
No comment. But this week, go ahead and get into it. Thursday night football tomorrow night. Big game. Bengals at Ravens.
Let's see if you're a little bit more conservative this week, but I'm gonna
I'm
take the
gonna be
Ravens.
conservative. You're gonna pick Ravens.
Yeah, I'll take the Ravens. It's gonna be a good game though.
I'm also gonna take the Ravens. I think at
Are you
home.
sure?
I'm positive. I'm positive. Now you're making me second guess. I really can see the Bengals possibly
Oh,
winning.
It'll be a shootout, I think. They'll both score 40 points, I bet.
Yep, we're gonna stay with the Ravens.
Okay, I thought you were gonna switch.
Okay. Germany game this week. I feel bad for the Germans because they got to go watch the Giants and the Panthers.
Do that to them. I'll take the Giants.
I'm also taking the Giants.
Yeah. There's no home team there.
Yeah. Panthers.
So, let's take the Giants.
Patriots at Bears. First 1:00 game.
Go Bears.
See, you can't be conservative too. You have to. You have to take some.
You know that y'all always there. I just play it safe.
I'm also gonna take the Bears. 49ers at Buccaneers.
Off last week. Let's get 49ers this week at home.
No, 49ers at Buccaneers.
Oh. I think I still like them.
Still like the 49ers?
I think
CMC?
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be back?
Supposed to be, yeah. I don't know, D, if you're watching this, buddy. We'll see.
We're going to take the Buccaneers. I need a win here. Buccaneers are going to... I mean, they almost beat the Chiefs without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
I've got a shorts idea for us here. Want everyone to give me some thoughts between Saquon and CMC. If they're both healthy, both situations, who are you taking and why? Who are you taking? CMC, Saquon, they're both healthy.
Both healthy?
Both healthy. Who you take?
I think you have to go CMC. Just because.
Even after that backwards hurdle. That was the dirtiest play I've ever seen in my life.
he jumped backwards.
How in the world?
I still think I got to take CMC. He's so dangerous in the pass game.
That play alone, he's the best player. He's the best running back in the league. That play alone, that was so nasty.
Honestly, though, not to throw another name in here, I might take Derek.
Yeah, just pure power. I'm just saying skill.
Skills, though.
Skill. Because Henry's not the pass catcher that either one of them are.
Now, if we're talking skill, Derrick Henry's not up there.
He's the most dominant player in football. Easy. That's a different conversation, I think.
Yeah. If we're talking skill, maybe Saquon. Just as a pure running back. He's
nasty.
Saquon is better. But CMC he's basically a wide receiver too.
He is. Yeah. That's going to blow up on TikTok. I want to see what people say.
Okay. I'll have to remember to cut out our little extra here.
Just leave it. Who cares?
Okay. 49ers at Buccaneers. You took the 49ers. I take the Buccaneers. Broncos at Chiefs. 1 p.m. You know I ain't picking the Broncos. I might go with the Broncos. I'm picking the Chiefs. Okay.
Bo Nix, if you're watching this, probably just sit this one out, bro. This one's over. That was too good, man. Oh, that was too funny. 2,000 people saw you say that.
I didn't even think about it that way.
It's too funny.
Bills at Colts.
Bills. What in the world are Colts doing?
I don't know, but I'm taking the Bills as well. Colts starting Joe Flacco. They're just like, well, let's just try whatever.
Yeah.
They're treating Joe Flacco like he's a rookie. Like maybe we should just try and give him a shot. No, probably shouldn't. You got Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Wow.
Steelers at Commanders. You know my pick.
I gotta go Commanders. That boy
That's
Jay
probably
Daniels is nasty.
He is. That's probably the good pick, but I'm taking the Steelers on the road.
You got to.
You have to. I really think though the Steelers may get this one. I think it's really a coin toss for me.
It'll be a good one.
So, our defense is just nasty.
Yeah.
Vikings at Jaguars.
Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, not much of a question there. Vikings are gonna win that one.
We haven't disagreed one time.
No, we have on the Buccaneers and 49ers.
Oh, that's true.
And the Steelers and Commanders.
Oh, okay, we're fine then. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Falcons at Saints.
Falcons look pretty good, man.
Yeah, and the Saints are absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking the Falcons as well. Titans at Chargers.
Chargers won last week, didn't they?
They beat the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? But
I gotta take the Chargers. I can't risk taking the Titans.
You can't take the Titans.
But this next one, I'm sticking with my gut. Jets at Cardinals. Take them. I went back on Cardinals last week. The Cardinals are gonna win this game.
I like the Jets.
You like the Jets? I appreciate that.
Yep.
Really, I mean the Jets seem like they're starting to get a little momentum, but when you're 3-6,
yeah, it's difficult to stay motivated.
I do hope they don't.
Does Rodgers have? I mean, more than a year left. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. You think one more year after this?
I think he will. I think next year, if he plays, it's going to be bad, though.
You think he definitely plays, though?
I think he does. I don't know his contract, though.
I don't think he's going out like this.
I don't know if he can get any better.
But what I'm saying is I don't think this year is it. I think it's been too crazy of a year, especially with the coach getting fired and everything. I think he's definitely got one more year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And Devontae Adams is getting up there. He's still nasty, but he's getting up there. 32 next year.
Yeah, receiver age, that's old.
It's up there.
Yeah.
This will be a good game. Eagles at Cowboys.
Cowboys look awful, man. But at home, it's a must-win. I keep betting on them. Well, just picking them.
You don't gamble? I'm just kidding. We don't gamble. We don't gamble before anybody. We before they
canceled already.
Clip this.
Canceled already.
Before they clip this.
Oh man.
I'm taking the Eagles.
I'm gonna go Eagles. I've picked the Cowboys the last 4 weeks, and they've lost almost every single one. I'm gonna go Eagles. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they've got Saquon.
Let's hope Saquon
nobody can do anything with him.
Has a headache before the game and doesn't play.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
For fantasy wise. Big game here. Sunday night football. Lions at Texans.
That's a great game.
Texans did lose to the Jets last week.
But the Lions just look so good.
Lions are great. They are at Texas.
Is Nico Collins back?
I have no clue. I couldn't tell you that. I hope not, because I have Tank Dell.
I think he could be this week. I'm going to take the Lions. They look so good, dude. Texas could definitely win that game, but I'm going to take the Lions.
Yeah. Just to get a win here. We're taking the Texans.
Okay.
I fully believe the Lions will probably win this game. But I can't. I gotta get a win here. I gotta get a win at this point. we just gotta think. Tristan. I can't even say that word. What's the word? Fill in the blank for me.
Think outside the box. I don't know.
No. I cannot say the word. Strategize. but
Okay.
with LY at the end.
Oh, strategically. Got you.
There
Okay.
you go.
Got
I
you.
cannot.
Sorry.
It trips me up.
Oh, it's too funny. People appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you if you're still watching.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football. Kind of a lame one. Dolphins at Rams.
I like the Dolphins this week.
We're going Rams. We're strategizing.
Okay.
Really a toss-up, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, Tua's there, so, I mean, he's back, but...
Is he though? Like, actually, I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah. I don't know.
The bye week this week, Browns, Packers, Raiders, and Seahawks all on bye. So, only 14 games this week, but we're going to gain some ground here.
I feel pretty confident.
I would too. Anything else you want to say about the old NFL?
I don't think so about the NFL. I don't know.
Anything else you want to say in general? NBA?
My Lakers need to pick it up. Losing to the Pistons, I about canceled my league pass subscription. But
I need to get that league pass subscription.
About awful. But yeah, I don't know. It's still super early in the year. Can't really base off of a ton. You can base off the Thunder are going to be daggone good. That's for sure.
They are going to be good. Thunder.
Yeah.
I think it will be Thunder and Celtics. If we're being honest. I mean the Cavs though are looking
very good. Yeah.
Very good as well.
Saw them in person. They're tough. Yeah, they would have known that if our recording saved last week.
That's true. Brooks, since we're at the end of the thing, I can call him out. He's skipping church and going to basketball games at this point. Not youth basketball games, but he's going to NBA.
Oh man, there was. You know what? People that go to NBA games need ministered to as well.
That's right. That's right. It just happened to land on Wednesday.
It's crazier things have happened.
Church can happen any day of the week.
That is for sure. Why's it got to be Wednesday?
Yeah.
I don't
know. I don't know. What? Why did we pick Wednesday? I mean, I guess it's midweek, but I guess that makes sense.
The word Wednesday is not in the Bible.
No, it's not. We should get rid of it.
Oh, goodness. Oh,
well, we appreciate
no way anybody's watching this.
We do appreciate you if you're watching. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save this video.
Yes, we will.
And we're gonna make sure that it is saved, and we're gonna upload it.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. Check us out on all social media platforms. And we hope you guys have a good week. So we'll see you next week.
Thank you all.